Hello folks, this is a Sunday message from the Cathars. This is a countryside of the south of Spain, and today my message for you is the world of good. I would like to share with you a story which I lived myself being 20 years old. That was a time when my parents had chickens and I feed them every morning, and that was a time when birds plague was very strong in that area, and around us hundreds of chickens, they died, but these 6 birds which were granted to my father, they survived. But anyway, there were 5 hens and 1 cockerel. Nevertheless, cockerel fell ill and started to fade away. I was awesomed with the attitudes, with the relationships of these hens among them. For me, it was a revelation. I never thought that they could feel something and to be of some kind of qualities, of virtues. For me it was impossible, but I was a witness of such story when these birds with these hens, they were not adopted to ordinary life of hens. They couldn't lay eggs in normal way. All the time when you open a door, there is an egg in front of you and you step upon it, and they couldn't survive for their self-survival state to take food away from your near one, from your neighbor, as other chicken did, and to lay eggs in some remote place for later to make their chicken. So these hens, they were big and white, extremely white. It was so beautiful color, and they stood together, all these 6 hens and cockerel. And one day people granted to my parents something about 20 hens from the country. There they were known from hatchery, like these white ones, hatchery chickens, but they were domestic. And these domestic and brown hens, they were quite aggressive, and they took as their target this ill cockerel and always tried to peck him in the head. And I was amazed how these white chicken, these white hens, they accompanied this ill cockerel to the feeder, as when 2 chickens, they supported with their chest this cockerel for he would not fall down, that he could took food, but food, instead of eat, all the food was stick to his beak, and he moved his head and all the food was falling away. And these 2 hens, they with their own beaks, they cleaned the beak of cockerel and put food inside. And two other hens, they bravely resisted attacks of this brown chicken with their superior forces. And this was during long time, and I was amazed how chicken can behave like that. Every morning I did special nutrition for these birds, and I should take one by one these chickens. Among them were 2 friends, let us say 2 girlfriends, and when I took one of them, another started attack me, like saying just leave alone my friend, leave alone, don't touch her, you know. And so happened then later one of these chicken was taken to food. It should be killed. And by chance it so happened that it was exactly one of these two friends, hen friends. And the next day, a friend of that, let us say, executed one, didn't start to descend to take food with other chickens, but remain in the upper level ladder and sat there in so sad state that I couldn't approach to this chicken. And she stood so sad, very, very sad, during 3 days. It didn't eat, didn't drink, and the 4th day it just fall down dead. And that day I said, I never eat myself meat of chicken anymore in my life. That's what I said. I was so impressed of this friendship, of this loyalty and self-sacrificing that chicken showed me, you know. And I would like to say, very often people ask, where is the kindness in this world? Or when this world will become kinder? I want to say that definitely this world will become kinder, but only when we learn how to see kindness in all the living which is around us. When we learn how to see kindness in kind plants, in kind birds, in kind dogs, and kind hens as well. When we learn not to see that it is a nice breakfast is running around us, in front of us, but this is a kind hen. And these dogs and cows, hens, they are not clever or more stupid than humans. They live in completely different paradigm. They live accordingly to the statutes of Artha, statutes of kindness, and all their behavior is of that kind. They behave to people in this way. They grant their kindness and love, and sometimes this level of kindness which these good animals and birds is higher than kindness of people. It comes sometimes, so that I wish that all of us try to learn, try to see deeply, and see that kindness of eternal statutes of Artha, which is around of us in all the living. This is my Sunday message for you, dear friends, and for now, blessing for you with kindness of our kind Father, and be good, be joyful and healthy. Thank you. See you the next time. Bye.